20 years of schooling and they put...
Whoopsie-daisy. Give that a nice fade. Way to be a... Way to celebrate your television code seal of good practice. All right. I think we're good. In 5, 4... Oh, yeah. Okay. Good stuff here. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks for clicking us on, everybody. Welcome back. It's a few minutes after 5. That is my fault. I was in the green room talking to our guest who's about to walk by right now. You've dialed us up on a really good one. We have got a great show for you tonight. It's LA International Auto Show night. Is that fair to say? Yes, we've got a lot of people in the house tonight, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. David Fortin is the VP of Marketing for the LA International Auto Show. We're going to find out from him why it's going to be different this year, and why we're all looking forward to it. Sounds a little bit. Sounds like the new ethos is something that I can really get into, and I think you will as well. That's what's going on. The exciting part for the viewers at home, you should be very happy that this one is over here back doing very well, loving her new Mini. And you're on Instagram as well. Thank you for joining. I see a bunch of people there. And all the way up in Canada, we have Canada Mike. How you doing, fella? With your new light.
Greetings, my friend. I'm doing tremendous. How are you?
Is it a new camera and a new light, or just one or the other? What's happening? Both?
We've got a new camera and a new light, but we're also in a bit of a work zone here for the next week or so. Our viewpoint is going to be changing as we renovate.
I love it. Very excited for you, buddy. That's what's going on. Will, take it away. Kevin, you gonna buy a Beamer? No fog, no bubbles, no nothing, no nonsense. Tonight, welcome back, everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. My name is Jay Ryan. I'm sitting here with Nicole Ryan. How the heck are you in your House t-shirt? I love it. I haven't seen that in ages. The TV show House.
Today, I love this shirt. Thank you for getting it for me. I feel awful.
Oh, I'm sorry. The conundrum is the worse you feel, the better you look. You look beautiful.
Yeah.
And your smile's great.
If my legs were to dull, I'd be good enough.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job. You also had a very busy weekend. You know, we did a lot of stuff. We even went down to the Marconi for the Born for Fast toy drive, which was a lot of fun. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's see. We're finally back in studio with a great guest. This is really exciting. Last week, it just seemed to be the disaster week. Everybody had something where that was needing to be rescheduled. But The LA Auto Show is something I'm excited about anyway. So to have somebody who can tell us all about the ins and outs to me is a big deal. I'm very excited to have this conversation with David Fortin, the VP of Marketing for the Los Angeles International Auto Show, the only privately owned auto show in the nation, world? Nation. Okay. Sorry. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right.
It could be the world. Do we know? It might be the world.
Of our scale.
Yeah, I like it. So we're going to do that in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I wanted to say that it's raining here in Los Angeles. It's election day. It's raining. Someone won $2 billion in the Powerball a few mere miles from where we're sitting right now. Mere blocks from where we... Yeah, right. Why didn't I eat gas yesterday? Ah!
It was Altadena, right?
Yeah, which is, right by Pasadena there.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of friends who live in Altadena. So I hope I'm sending out good vibes to everyone I know from that area.
Me too.
I have a feeling if anyone we know did win, none of us are going to know about it for quite some time. And that's how I would play it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can you accept the prize anonymously? I feel like when I was a kid, you weren't.
Differs by state, so I don't know if California you can or you can't.
That's something I would look into that before I bought a $2 billion ticket. Although I guess at $2 billion, you just figure it out, don't you?
You get people at that point.
You get a team of people.
Yeah.
Steal from me, do whatever you want. There'll be
Right,
plenty
that's
left.
what
Yeah.
interest will pay for this.
There's an account for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a big deal. This is one of the few. Usually when it gets big, I buy a ticket. And I thought to myself, oh, it's raining. I don't know if I want to go out in the rain. I don't know if it's worth it. Hilarious. We were talking about this before. I find that if you declare it and if you go for this is what we're going to do, it wouldn't have worked out. I think whoever did, I hope it was on a whim. I hope they really needed it.
Agreed.
I don't know why I go to that.
Story.
I guess with $2 billion, you have to do good things with it as well, right? You could waste so much of it.
You run out of shitty things to do.
You get to the good at some point.
Well said, exactly. Right? At some point, you're done humaning, and you're like, well, we gotta figure
You
this
can
out.
only consume so much shit.
As a regular person, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how to go do real estate deals and develop property and all the
I ran into
things
that
you
with
would do with that money.
everyone I worked with, they were like, and now what?
Oh, man. That's a big deal, though. Good stuff. All right, let's do the business real quick and then just get on with our guest here. Let's see. Our friend Adam. Oh, and by the way, hello to our friend producer Mike up there in Canada. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I
One
like your
vintage
shirt.
suggests that you wear a costume to pick up the $2 billion.
Yeah, at least, though. I mean, you need a costume and a whole different everything. I don't think you pick it up either, right? It's not like you show, like, I'm here.
Some guy did that. He picked it up as a screen mask when he won the lottery. Never took it off.
Oh, well, that's a way to do. Was it his real name or did he?
It might
That's
have
an
been
interesting-
anonymous state.
Oh, man.
Yeah, smart move.
Smart move. Because they're like, well, policy is you have to take the photo. Okie doke.
Here you go. You have to print it.
Nice. All right. Well, our good old buddy Adam Ferrara, who we saw down at the Marconi this weekend. What a great time that was. I enjoy hanging out with him all the time. Really more so when there isn't a show, when we're not doing a professional thing
Yeah,
together.
when he's himself, it's awesome.
You don't like TV, Adam? I'm just kidding.
I'm learning both. They're different.
Yeah, he's a real person under there. He's one of my favorite people. Anyway, Adam Ferrara is going to be at the Tempe Improv at the end of this month, the 25th through the 27th. Is that Thanksgiving weekend, I think, right?
Yep.
Holy crap. Whew, that's probably, those shows are probably going to be packed. Holiday weekends are crazy because everyone's done with their family, right?
Yeah.
Well, we did the turkey. We
And you-
got drunk and fought all day.
A lot of
Let's go
people
out.
travel to be there and they have nothing to do. Once family's done, they're like, give me something.
Yeah. Right, just some entertainment, something that's not what I've been dealing with, the same droning for the last 10 hours. By the way, some people have lovely families. I don't know why we're painting the world with what our experience was with families. Quit throwing the turkey leg.
I've seen on Facebook there's a reunion happening for one of my high schools, and that seems to be an attention grabber. So I'm leaning into that.
What do you want to? Should we plug it on the show? What school is it?
No, I did.
Oh,
I don't want to be negative about
Oh.
my own situation.
I gotcha. Who were we just talking about the movie Gross Point Blank with recently? Shit, was it you, Mike? Were we having that conversation, or maybe it was Sean Bishop? I can't remember. Somebody. What a great movie that is, and it sort of revolves around the high school reunion.
I don't remember it well enough, but
If you'd be willing to watch it again, I sure like it.
I am.
It's John Cusack, who
It's
you've worked with.
Cusack, yeah.
But also, like, the rest of the cast, and Minnie Driver, but the rest of the cast is great because his sister's in it, like, of course, and Cusack.
Yeah.
And then maybe both of them, actually, but also, shit, I'm drawing a blank now.
Alan Arkin.
Yeah, Alan Arkin, too, but I was thinking of, with Ghostbuster, the other, Dan Aykroyd.
My old friend,
Oh, Dan Aykroyd.
Your old friend?
House of Blues founder.
Oh, my gosh. All right, that's the other thing. Yeah. Big history with the
Microphone a
House of Blues
little
before
closer
the
to
LA
David,
Auto
please.
Show. Say again?
Microphone closer to David, please.
Oh, yep. Good call there, buddy. Okay, and Byron Bowers is on his way to Atlanta, so go see him while he's there. I'm sure he will do some pop-up shows. His special on Hulu right now, Spiritual N-Word, is fantastic. It's not just a comedy special. It's an emotional journey. It's a beautiful story. You really find out a lot about our friend Byron Bowers. And I hesitate to say something like this because the comparison is just so severe, but this special reminded me a lot of Pryor, of Richard Pryor. The honesty, the vulnerability, and sometimes the discomfort, the realness of it all. It's just really, really good. So it's on Hulu now. Byron Bowers, Spiritual N-Word, except it's not N-Word. I think if you probably just type spiritual, it'll probably autofill, I would imagine. Magnus Walker's Urban Outlaw 10 exhibit is going on at the Peterson now through January. Go check it out. We had a blast driving one of the cars over there, and we've seen the exhibit a couple times since he installed it, and it's growing. It seems like every time he has another idea, he goes back to the garage, gets another thing, comes back over, puts a new thing on the wall, and so on. So go check that out at the Peterson. The Born for Fast toy drive, as I mentioned, was a huge success. Congrats to Sebastian with OI, as well as the whole Marconi team. That was a blast. Love supporting the Marconi Museum.
They do a great job for events and stuff. I love them.
With everything.
Yeah.
We love them. Thank you for supporting us, Marconi
Thank you.
Museum. That's why we support you. Also, now this is the fun stuff. Your only source for officially licensed Late Show with David Letterman merchandise is, of course, the Hello Deli. So dial up the hello-deli.com on your internet there, and go tell Rupert that you need a shirt or a mug, or he sells all that stuff. It's great. Old Late Show hats. Literally, this is new stuff. It's the old stuff, but it's new stuff, which is
That's
really,
cool.
really fun. If you're into that sort of thing. If not, this doesn't make any sense to you. We're big fans, and Rupert loves Nicole. So when you dial up Rupert, make sure that you say hello for Nicole, because oftentimes,
I cannot.
yeah, that's right. It's an MS joke. St. Clair Insurance. Okay, here we go. They say all which separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. What types of toys are we talking about today, Mrs. Ryan?
Collector cars, probably.
That's right. That's right. Could be anything. We do often talk about the collector cars. Haggerty is a big one for him, but he's licensed in most states and shops all the top providers, so you get the best coverage for your toys. That is, of course, St. Clair Insurance, our friend Jeff St. Clair. Dial him up on the www at coverageforyourtoys.com, coverageforyourtoys.com.
Coverageforyourtoys.com.
And definitely tell Jeff St. Clair that Nicole says hello, because today she can't. Series 1 Films this episode has been brought to you in part by Series 1 Films. Series 1 Films is your complete resource to develop your brand identity and marketing using video ads and SEO to help your automotive business reach more customers. Send Series 1 Films a message today to find out more. Series1films.com, Series1films.com.
Series1films.com.
Yep, that's right. And if you look at our friend up there in Canada, he's denoting that the one is indeed a number one. Okay, that's all the business. I'm so happy that we got it. Sorry that it took so long.
All good stuff.
Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce you all to, finally, he's here. He's sitting next to his sign, David Fortin.
There I am.
VP of Marketing for the Los Angeles International Auto Show. But talking in the green room, it sounds like you are interesting for a multitude of reasons. Cars we'll talk about today.
Sure.
Music a little bit.
Sure.
House of
You want.
Blues.
Sure.
We were both big fans. Not only saw a lot of shows there, tremendous amount of industry events we did
Oh,
there.
yeah. Absolutely. That one on Sunset Strip was
That
one.
was the place to go.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And what was your involvement there? How did that all work?
Yeah,
if you
I
don't
had a-
mind jumping there
I'll
first.
jump right into it. I have had a long journey to get to the LA Auto Show, which started in Harvard Square back in 1994. Got a gig as a barback at the original House of Blues in Cambridge, founded by Dan Aykroyd and Isaac Tigrit. And at that time, it was the place to be in Massachusetts. You know, celebrity. It's not like out here where there's celebrity all over the place. In Boston, a celebrity of an A-level caliber is a thing. So it had a
Was
lot
there a
of
reason they
hoopla.
chose Cambridge as the launch?
Yeah, well, Isaac also founded Hard Rock Cafe along with Peter Morton.
Holy crapola!
So, yeah, so he,
I still have those shirts.
Yeah, I think everybody has one at least somewhere in their closet,
Honolulu.
right? And he had after he left Hard Rock, and I think his share was something like $100 million, and he built hospitals in India. And he had a spiritual guru, and somehow got
Before
led
or
on,
after the Hard Rock?
after he sold the Hard Rock. He used that money to build hospitals in India, and then through his spiritual mentor, landed on a place where he was still needed in the world of hospitality. And he's from the South, and had a Southern upbringing, and so through some circumstance meets Dan, who Blues Brothers. Dan is a true blues fan, aficionado. He knows about as much as anybody you could talk to about blues. And
Cars too,
blues artists.
strangely. He's
Yeah,
got a
right?
crazy pocket, but he's really, really knowledgeable there.
Yeah, and so those two together created something sort of bigger than the individual of themselves. And from what I know of the lore of it, he liked Cambridge because of it was so diverse, with Harvard Square right there, but also the most colleges and universities of any city outside of Paris, I think.
Right.
So he liked that. He liked that it was young and had an energy.
There are a lot. I never thought about that. There are a tremendous amount of colleges in and
It's-
around outside.
Yeah, I went to Boston College, and
You went to BC?
I did. I'm an
I
evil.
wanted to go there so bad.
You went to U of M. I mean, that's
I
no
know.
slouch.
No,
Because I didn't get into BC.
Oh wow.
UVM would have been my next choice. So yeah, Chestnut Hill is beautiful. It was beautiful.
Good.
So is UVM.
Yeah? VM's in the sticks.
Vermont. Oh, where did you go?
Michigan.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So anyway, I'm in Boston, and a friend of mine. There's this story. This could be the whole hour, so I'm gonna try to condense it. But I had a friend staying with me when I was a senior in Boston College. We went on a school trip to the two hottest brands in Boston, which was Harpoon Brewery and the House of Blues. When I was at the House of Blues, I asked the bartender, like, how do you get a job here? Because my friend sleeping on my couch and needed a job, and I wanted him to have a job.
I need him off my couch.
And they said, oh, we have open interviews every Monday. There's like 50 people there trying to get a job here. And I was like, all right. So I went back home, told him he got a job as a barback at House of Blues. I graduate BC. I moved to the Cape Cod for a summer. I moved back. My friend's still working there. He said,
Are you from New England? I'm sorry.
New Hampshire.
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
grew up in Bedford, New Hampshire.
Connecticut,
Yeah.
upstate New York. So we
Yeah.
all have
Okay,
similar.
yeah.
Okay.
Bedford, New Hampshire, home of some big time comedians, Sarah Silverman and
Adam Sandler, right?
Sandler and Seth Meyers.
And Seth
All
Meyers,
three.
that's right.
Sandler was Manchester, but it's all right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's all
New
right
Hampshire.
there. But Seth and Sarah, I believe, are Bedford. So he said, I think we're looking for a barback. I think I could get you a job there. So he came home like after his next shift and said, yeah, you got a job if you want it. And so I went in, I took the gig. I was a barback too, and really did like a shift or two of barbacking and got an opportunity to get into marketing and did that. Try to make this short because my House of Blues story is really long.
It makes sense to me though. If you just get in the door
Yeah.
just because it's an interesting place to
the place
be,
was
it's a
just-
creative venue.
and that one was awesome because it was really roots-based music. It was the blues guys like Luther Allison coming through and like the real deal blues guys.
It wasn't saturated yet. They were probably happy
yeah.
to have a room dedicated.
Oh, for sure. The journeymen are just looking for a gig, and we had a great talent buyer who was my mentor, and who came from that world. He was a piano player, and so like the people that we got through in a 200 capacity room was just off the charts. Lou Rawls came through. We did Boston, the band in there. I mean,
Yeah.
just like just crazy, crazy shows. And then I grew there as a young marketer from a coordinator into some other roles, and then I got the opportunity to open up the House of Blues San Diego. So I took that gig, moved out here in 2001, and 10 days after landing in California, September 11th happened.
I saw that coming.
Yeah. Which for me, which was just a terrible time, but for me, kept me in LA versus going to San Diego because they said I had to come to the home office, work for a few months while the world rights itself.
I forgot about
Yeah.
it. Los Angeles may not remember this. There used to be a House of Blues building in this town.
Oh, yeah.
Is
the
it still there?
6255 Sunset. Nah, it's gone now.
Was
But
that the one
big
that was
logo
next
on
to
top.
the Palladium, right?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me because that was in the end of the Blues Brothers. That was the Paris Hotel
that's it.
Ballroom
There
or
you
whatever,
go.
the Palace Hotel Ballroom. Anyway,
All
okay, go
coming
ahead.
together.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Eventually,
So
we'll talk about
my
the other
lucky
show.
break to like be in the home office environment, the corporate environment, and I actually never left. And so I never opened up the House of Blues San Diego. I stayed in the House of Blues corporate world for another 15 years. So I had 26 years with House of Blues and Live Nation, and I left them as the SVP of marketing and joined LA Auto Show.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
You used to do stuff with Live Nation when you had
All the time.
big clients and stuff?
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. But that club, the stories from the foundation room, we'll leave them as stories.
Yes.
Everyone
Yeah.
wanted to play there.
Yeah.
That was the spot to go.
Yeah.
And I asked people on the slide, like, if they were going, because they weren't promoting it.
Right.
And so I went there a lot under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I love that room.
I know. It's so bizarre to me that it's gone.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
to me, it was like, oh, this is part of LA right there on the Sunset Strip. I
I'm
mean,
the
it
one
really...
that had to be out on Sunset Strip the night we closed, talking
Really?
to the media.
Oh,
It was the toughest
painful.
gig ever. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was. Really
Everyone's
hard.
brokenhearted.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry
Yeah.
to bring it up. All right.
that's
well,
all right. Let's talk about
Whew.
some exciting stuff.
Dan Aykroyd was great, by the way. I've worked with him a lot
He's
over the
awesome.
years doing stuff with both his
Awesome.
vodka and Ghostbusters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever. And he's just been absolutely delightful and kind of exactly what I always expected Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd to be like.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's part alien for sure. His memory is insane. His knowledge of things is
Things in
insane.
His
You
dedication.
could see his mind working.
Always.
Yeah.
He's got a big
Always.
head. Like, you could watch it.
And he was always like so dedicated. Like we'd be opening up a new venue and call it Houston or wherever we were, and I would do the PR with him, and we'd leave the venue at like 11, or I would. Dan is still like entertaining and hosting, and he's founder. Everybody wants to be
Yeah.
like 5 a.m. call, and 4:59, that guy would walk into the lobby like, "Let's go." I mean, just amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, he's a showman too.
Yeah.
So.
He is. He is.
Not a bad person though to be the face of your. Didn't they used
Yeah.
to show up in the blues car? They would bring the bluesmobile to all the openings.
We would usually bring it to an opening, and him and
Sometimes
his
Jimmy
crew,
Belushi.
Jim would come, and they would bring their crew of all the guys that have like the Harley jackets that are
Right.
all House of Blues branded, and they'd ride in.
The
yeah.
vests and everything. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about
He had a
that.
whole like gang.
He rode deep.
Yeah, he did.
Dan Aykroyd. Okay, so
Yeah.
from House of Blues to Live Nation, so it's all live.
It's all about
then
events,
to the
yeah.
auto show.
Yeah. So pandemic hits, and nobody's having live concerts anywhere in the world. And, Live Nation had to make some tough decisions. I was part of that decision. And I took a little time to be with the family. And lucky enough, 3 people from my House of Blues past were working with the LA Auto Show.
Oh,
Terry Toney's president, Maureen McGrath, VP of sales, and a woman named Denise also on the sales side. And they saw my post and that I had left, after 26 years, my journey with House of Blues is over. And they reached out and said, hey, we were shut down too, obviously. We're thinking about bringing back the show. It's usually in November. They were thinking about May of 2021. If we do that, we've furloughed and laid off a lot of our team too. Would you be interested in kind of bringing the show out of the pandemic? And I said, sure. At the time, I'm not working. That sounds good to me.
yeah, it's ambitious,
but
though.
yeah,
It's a big deal.
But the idea of it was foreign at first, and we ended up not doing May. We went back to the original November date. So last year, November 2021 is when the show was.
The first one.
The
back.
first one after 19, right? And it was foreign at first, for sure. I'm not a car guy, like an under the hood, get in there. I had a huge appreciation of cars. You know, in Bedford, New Hampshire, we'd all light up when somebody's dad was driving a Porsche around town, because you
sure.
just would see it and like, well, oh my God, they have a Porsche, you know. So I've always appreciated the aesthetic of beauty of sort of those types of cars. And but then as I got into it, it was, you know, you mentioned a little bit earlier, it was a live music festival, and the stages are the automakers. And in that instant, it all made sense. And
Festival.
So it's
Convert
a
it to
festival.
festival.
It's just a festival. It's a big festival about lifestyle and fun and serving artists or clients, and, you know, about creating the best experience for both sides. You know, we have a lot of the automakers are our customers, and the consumers are our customers who are coming for a variety of different reasons: to see the new cars, absolutely; to drive them, absolutely. But there's also the whole culture around cars, especially in Southern California. And the more we celebrate that and become a part of it, it will only grow our event. And that's what I think I can bring to the show from my past experience. And what I think last year was really survival. Like, can you pull off a live global event in this environment of the pandemic? And we were adamant from the start we weren't going to do a hybrid event. That's a tricky widget to try to figure out and make work. And so whatever the mandates were, whatever the protocols were, we were digging into them deep and figuring out how to solve them, because we were going to have a live event last year. And we pulled it off, which then ushered in other auto shows around the world feeling confident they can do live events again.
The precedent was set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was wild. It was
See if you
ride.
even can bring it back. Okay,
Yeah.
now we did. You know, all of your time in music and live events before, that makes me wonder, did you ever used to have to do the NAMM show or any of those type of trade shows for music?
I didn't. A
Okay.
lot of my colleagues certainly were
Okay.
at NAMM, and we had the House of Blues in Anaheim. So
Yeah,
there was
that's-
that connection right there. Yeah.
Very tied in.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah.
just curious.
Sure. Yeah. And so this year it's sort of
Because it's a trade show, to be
Right.
clear. Because
Yeah.
a trade show for
For
music,
the-
trade show for cars, there's a lot of overlap in my own mind. It sounds to me like
for bringing it together. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't mean to lead the witness here, but a lot of the things that Victor from ID has told me, it sounds like a lot more experiential. You go into it, but I was thinking of NAMM in that way, where everything is very experiential. You're hands on with things, and I feel like that's something the auto show hasn't always been.
Yeah,
And-
it's from my understanding, you know, we were a privately owned show, and our current owner, she talks a lot about her grandfather, who used to own the show way before her.
Yeah, hang on. Can you say what year this is? This privately owned show? How many years?
I believe we're going 30 to 50. I'm gonna put it somewhere in there.
No, but
yeah.
isn't this the 115th?
Oh, this year's show is the 115th
Yeah, that's
anniversary
amazing to
show.
me.
So 1907. I think it's Morley's skating rink. There were 99 cars on display. 2 of them were electric.
Wow.
115
At the
years
first
ago.
one.
Yeah. So we're celebrating that this year, and that's an underlying message of sort of what we're building and what we see the future of what this type of event is. To your point, especially in Southern California, like the car culture is so strong, and the automobile is changing to be experiential. The connected car is changing everything, and as we move to EVs and it gets developed more and the technology improves, it's only going to enhance everybody's life. And I talk a lot about how the vehicle, it's empowering us in some way. If you're driving a lime green Lamborghini, it's empowering your ego. If you're driving a big Tahoe and you got 2 car seats in the back and a dog crate that can fit a 100-pound dog in the back and a roof rack, like, it's empowering your family. And everybody has
Safety,
something that is, and it's a tank and it's protecting them, right? So everybody has some sort of empowerment happening, and the move to electrification is really gonna exponentially support that in ways that people don't even realize, like powering your house from your car if there's a blackout. Like, I mean, that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
stuff
interesting.
is incredible. Helping someone on the road if they're out of battery, and you might have a bi-directional charger. In time, everybody
Wow.
can bring community together and help. I just need
And because there's an app
Yeah.
for that, it's all connected.
there's an
It's
app.
not
Your
like just a
car's
guy
going to
s-
do it all, like
Right, right.
So it's really amazing at what's happening, and so we have an authentic stake sort of in that with a 115-year history of educating and inspiring people to see the latest of today and tomorrow, but also don't forget about the past and celebrate that. And so we're trying to put it all together at the LA Convention Center. We use like every square inch of that million square feet of space to use.
You always did. Will
yeah,
there be more this year? I mean,
There's
there was
more.
all
Yeah,
the hallways
we're
were
pushing
utilized.
up. We use the main halls, so there's 2 main halls. We use Petrie Hall. Porsche moves in there every year.
Yeah.
The atriums, the lobbies, we
Yeah.
we reimagine Concourse Foyer, Concourse Hall, North Plaza, Gilbert Lindsay Plaza, the streets around LA Convention Center, the parking lot across the street for a new Cars and Coffee event. Thank you, my friend to the left. And
Vinny
you know,
Russo also told me
yeah.
to ask about the Cars and Coffee.
yeah. So that's the type of stuff that only complements the overall experience. And, some of the stuff is there every day. Some of it is for only a couple days, like Cars and Coffee with our partners, Bridgestone. It's across the street. We got, I think, about 75 cars in a lot. That's the Saturday and Sunday of the first weekend.
So
So 8
excited
to
for
11,
that.
come on down and just cruise with fellow enthusiasts and check out some awesome cars.
Can't wait.
Then you can head
Excuse me,
across
Jay?
the street and head in the show.
Yeah, Canada.
Thank you for mentioning Vinny Russo. In here, bought a badge. Topo
Thanks,
Starga also bought a badge. Question here: went to the LA Auto Show last year, and there weren't any other Euro brands except Porsche. Will that be different this year?
Yeah, so I mean, we get asked this question a lot, and for me as a consumer-focused, individual, it's amazing to me how the consumers seem to think we pick and choose who comes to the show, and
So and so wasn't invited this
right,
year.
yeah,
I heard.
yeah, no, they're not going to come. I
Right.
mean, we're an open platform for automakers, and we invite and would love to have every automaker in the room. We don't feel any sort of authority to speak on behalf of a brand that decides or not to come or not come. We're not in their boardrooms. We don't know what their strategic initiatives are, and everybody has their plan. What we do say is this is the largest car market in the United States of America. It has the best car culture in the world. And if you don't want to put your brand in front of hundreds of thousands of people who are potentially interested in picking their next car, we might have a difference of opinion.
What we do say.
But to answer the question directly, Volkswagen is back in a main hall. They have an absolutely stunning exhibit that they're going to debut.
Oh yeah, well, one of those things has been driving around LA a couple times. I can't wait
What
to
have you
see
seen?
it.
What have you seen?
It's boxy. I'll just say it's
Oh, okay.
boxy.
It's boxy. And they're bringing it, and they're going to have a satellite exhibit. Genesis is back this year. Everybody. It's we can say the brands Mercedes and BMW is what people ask about a lot, and
Right.
I always say you should ask them. Ask them, don't I?
Right.
We would love to have them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I can say.
Was last year a situation where people were waiting to see what happened?
Yeah.
That's all right. Well, LA's putting their toe back in the tub. Let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think some were cautious, and things got more expensive over the last few years as well, and the supply chain issue of last year, and
Just
there were just so
shipping cars
many. Yeah, just moving cars around was difficult in general. So yeah, I think they are also figuring out what the automotive show experience is for their brand. At the same time, we're figuring out what the auto show experience is for Los Angeles.
Right.
We try to marry those two. And like I said, they're outside of Volkswagen, Subaru always brings an amazing kit, and they've got a new kit this year with some surprises that I can't wait for people to see. And it's just it's up to them. And like I said, we got some new people. We have Indie EV, which is a Los Angeles brand coming in. We have Hyperion coming in. We've got Charge Cars coming in. So every year you have these startups and, brands a little earlier in their development. And, I kind of see it's like, again, a festival. It's like, you have stages all over, and the stages are different, and some are closer to the main stage. And that's how the whole game sort of gets played. And, one day they may all be in the main halls.
Is it that way? Do they pick their spot, or
They
is
do. They do
really?
pick
And
their
it's
spot.
It's, I would imagine, just like any other type of thing where you're paying by square footage
Yeah,
and placement.
absolutely.
And
What
all
are you
that type
what
of
are you
thing.
trying to accomplish? And we try to solve those goals for them. And then everything gets put into a master
mix.
budget, the mix, yeah.
the Tetris
and
begins.
like, what do you want to do? And we get some crazy asks, again within.
Can we do this type of
Yeah,
thing?
can we do this? And it's 10 feet tall and the door's 6 feet high. Like, can we take it apart? We're always trying to find the solve to make happen what ultimately the client wants to have happen that represents their brand. So it's going to be wild, though. Like, we have so many events this year. Similar to Cars and Coffee. We got Formula Drift on the second weekend, Friday and
that's
Saturday.
going to be a crowd draw.
Oh yeah, they're
Everyone
gonna be
loves
doing-
that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. yeah.
Everyone's driving sideways. Those guys
yeah.
are nuts. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty. So that took a lot of work to figure out. Again, talking
So-
about logistics and all of that.
But let's be clear here.
Yeah.
They're actually going to be doing it there.
A demo.
That's
yeah,
what I
but
mean.
the
But they're really gonna be
professional
sliding the car?
drivers will be drifting on North Plaza. Yeah, first time.
First time in Los Angeles streets.
From the wings.
Wow.
Which is really fun. We've got more test drives and rides than in the history of the show, because we've got an outdoor track, we've got 3 indoor tracks, we got 3 what we call thrill rides with like the Camp Jeeps and the Ford Broncos, Ram truck
Thrill rides.
territory.
Ooh.
Well, you kind of strap in as a passenger, and they've built these mountains and dirt and all this, rocky terrain, and professional
Sure.
drivers take you through that to show the capabilities of the vehicle.
Yeah, but
But,
it's
you know,
what
it's
you would get
also
if you went
just
to
like-
the dealership at Range Rover or something,
Right.
not generally at the auto show.
Right, exactly. So
Wow.
again, the automakers bringing their brand into the auto show experience and wanting, last year I did Ford Bronco Built Wild, and it's just so cool. Like, you go in this pit of sand, and they can turn the vehicle on one wheel. So if you're
Yeah.
stuck, and just like, then you spin out, and it's just like,
You'll never be stuck again.
you'll never be stuck again. And so like that kind of stuff.
It's like was it iRobot, where they weren't wheels anymore, they were spheres somehow, so
Oh,
it could,
right, yeah,
they could
yeah.
orient in any direction. Here's a question from the internet. Manuel Career Third says, this will 7th year leading VIP media tours at the LA Auto Show. This will
Manuel.
be my maybe.
Manuel, thanks, buddy.
Do you know him? Yeah,
I've seen his name across my email a few times in the last couple of weeks.
he's a host of a show. On
So the
Motor
VIP
Trend.
tours are great. It's an elevated ticket. A journalist or media professional takes you on a guided tour throughout the auto show, so you get that expert perspective on what you're seeing.
Oh, and you're sure not to miss anything that way too.
Yeah,
Sometimes it gets
and
overwhelming, and you miss the
there's
thing
a
you went to
lot.
go see.
There's a lot. Yeah, we research that we do. It's like a 5.25 hour probably experience if you're going to try and spend some time and see everything. We got West Coast Customs back this year. We
Oh,
got
right on.
Galpin Hall of Customs. I mean,
Right on.
So the garage, we brought on a new person this year who has just embraced bringing the garage back to life, which is the aftermarket area
Yeah,
right over in South Hall.
top of the escalator
Yeah,
on the
gotta
left
take
there.
it there, get down. Where's the garage? But it's going to be off the hook. We got some incredible brands down there. Rock and Chicano is coming in. Vintage Chariots, Yamaha, SS Motorsports. But it's going to be. It's
So
gonna go
adventure
off.
sports as well. It sounds like.
Yeah, there's
very
a
cool.
little bit. Like I joke around. Like, maybe we should call our show Wheels. Like, if it has wheels, we celebrate it. Really, we tried really hard this year to bring a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft into the show, and battery powered though, right? So it's an eVTOL, and the future potentially
But
of
like
how
the
we
flying
move.
car, the future of the flying car
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
but
a
there's
device.
not so much the future anymore. That's the crazy thing.
Oh.
They're here, they're being developed. There's a lot of money going into that development, and they had a couple at Detroit, I think, smaller. We were trying to work with some of the bigger players, bringing them in. They're just not quite ready yet. But
If we really get a flying car, not only in my lifetime, but call it by 2030, I will absolutely say that the future predictors or whatever totally nailed it by the year 2000. Oh, 30 years off in the grand
I
scheme
mean,
of things.
right.
No
It's
big
nothing.
deal.
Fine.
yeah, and they're out there. I mean, and so
That there are the quadcopter versions, right? That
Yeah,
basically
it's
which is
kinda
a
like-
more stable way to do it.
totally, yeah.
that's wild.
They kind of look like giant drones in a way, but like beautiful,
But-
incredible.
Because there's a
Yeah.
computer
Yeah,
controlling
yeah.
all those individual things, not just a guy with it.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
And so you think about getting from Santa Monica to downtown in 12 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
as a commuter craft versus what does it take at 7, 8 a.m. right now? I couldn't
I don't know.
imagine.
Everything sounds
You know?
great until one guy doesn't keep up with his oil changes or whatever, and it falls down over, Pico someplace.
Right,
And
right. Well, they'll work that out, I hope.
I'm wondering about Wheels. I think Wheels would be like a great name for an auto show, but is there any potential in the world for the Los Angeles
No.
International Auto Show to
No, no,
rename
no.
itself
There's
Wheels?
too much brand equity. I mean, I think it's one of those annual events that it's on people's radar, and when it comes around and all the billboards go up and all of that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, the auto show's back. It's
like Christmas.
It's a 115-year brand, and I don't think you mess with that. But I think we'd like to start thinking about second, third, different types of events throughout the year, and that could be Wheels presented by the LA Auto Show. You know,
yeah,
that
I see
kind of
where you're
stuff.
going.
Yeah,
Expansion.
expansion.
Man, I'm so excited with everything you're going to fit into it, but I really kind of have to see how it's all going to work. You
I
have
brought
maps
you a map.
there. Can we?
I'm actually excited to tell you both. This is not a moment for right now. This is a moment of truth. You guys are actually the first people to ever see this.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Give us a moment then.
Yes,
won't you?
yes. So that's
Oh my God! There's literally racetracks here.
that's the floor map of the show for
Dri-
2022.
driving tracks, I should probably say.
Drive and ride.
Drive and ride tracks.
Drive and ride. Some are ride, some are drive, some are choose your poison.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
incredible. All right, so and I can show this to the
Sure.
folks at home.
Yeah,
obviously,
please
right?
do.
All right, so let's get a nice big zoom in here. This is what we're looking at. So I don't see a lack of anything.
It is packed.
It's pretty packed
It
in
is
there.
packed. And 10 days to, I think as an experiential guy, there's the opportunity to come multiple times because there's things happening on different days, and you might want to come back to see Formula Drift, but you wanted to go to Cars and Coffee, or you didn't get a chance to get in the vehicle you really wanted to. So
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You make it a multiple day thing. You don't do Disneyland in one day anymore.
it's
That's
impossible.
like a multiple day
Might do
thing.
one land in one day.
Right. Maybe.
At the pace my kids walk.
Yeah. And this is basically it's basically two different lands here because you got the South Hall and the West Hall.
Yeah, and then the outside stuff.
Wow. Well, I'm really excited about this. Are the people that you talk to like me? Are they excited about this year because of these
Yeah, the
changes?
more we tell everybody what's actually happening, and the more we're able to release information, the excitement level just goes up and up. I mean, there's that base of what I have kind of called the generational community of the LA Auto Show. It's the grandparents with the parents with the kids and the grandkids, and they all come every year together.
Built in.
It's a thing.
Yep.
And that is so cool to watch, especially we were talking about Thanksgiving. We have like family 4-packs on the day before and on Thanksgiving because we're open Thanksgiving Day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that going to be? How is that going to work? Is it going to be good?
Oh yeah, it's a big day. We have a
Thanksgiving
lot. You see it early on, it's really busy, and then everybody's heading back for the meal when they get the call time to eat.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
some people stay behind and they're doing all of the
But
preparation,
to your point,
and some people
you
get
have
the
so
heck
many
out of the
people in
house.
town. What are you going to do that kind of might work for everybody? The garage has so many cool stuff for kids. There's gonna be a Lamborghini wrap that the kids can ride on. There's
That's cool.
Oh, I love
luxury
that.
ride-ons. You can get your kid on a mini Bugatti or whatever. It's just it's a saying I've used a lot over the years, but there truly is something for everyone at the LA Auto Show.
It seems like some of these are always in the same spot. Like Porsche always seems to be in the same spot over there.
Like some of the brands, the show will end and they will put their hold on the spot for next year.
That's it.
The next
We
day.
like this. This
The-
worked
the
out
next
well.
day,
Do it
okay,
again.
we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So that
makes a lot of
they
sense.
like to curate their experience and take that haul, and I mean it's like walking into a beautiful Porsche dealership, times 10. It's like
Yeah, it is.
It's just like
They always do
it's
those breakfasts there and
it's
everything.
very cool. Yeah.
Little morning cocktail parties.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so both halls are really full, and like I mentioned, we have 3 tracks this year. They're ride-alongs, but
It seems
Nissan,
like there's
Hyundai.
a track everywhere you go. There's
I mean,
at least one
an
track.
opportunity to get in a car. Yeah, so Nissan, Hyundai, and Ford are going to have tracks in their actual exhibit space. So that goes back to us figuring out how is the auto show experience changing, and what are the automakers looking to do. Some of the brands want interested attendees, when they're talking to a brand ambassador, to be able to walk right into a test ride experience right in their space.
Yeah, don't lose the customer.
Right. Other brands, and this is what it goes back to earlier, like I'm not in the rooms with the automakers making these decisions, but we also hear some brands like to be co-located. Well, if someone's there checking out brand A, I like that my brand is next to that because I think we have a similar audience and they might get attracted to my option for their new car. So it's all the strategies and we try to solve for them.
McDonald's, Burger King type of thing.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Some of the brands in here that you've mentioned, and I say brands, not even automotive brands, just sort of brands. Like I see NASCAR here. I don't know if you mentioned
that's
that one.
part of
yet.
that experiential. So, when you think about, I mentioned Rock and Chicano and the Cars and Coffee, there's going to be a lot of lowriders and classics and muscle cars in both of those locations. But we also celebrate motorsports, and, NASCAR is a great partner. They're coming in, celebrate 3 of their races. Clash at the Coliseum is the upcoming one. But we also have Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach down, partying down in the garage. And we got Formula Drift out on North Plaza. So when you think about motorsports and connecting to that community, I think we have like a unique opportunity to embrace it all. We don't have to pick and choose. We can embrace every vehicle-related community.
That's what I was going to say. Everything seems very well represented.
Yeah, that's the goal. Thanks.
Well, I mean, it's on paper. But now pull this
Only
off.
on paper.
No, it's beautiful. I can't wait.
Yeah.
When does it? Well, all right. What are the official dates?
November 18th through the 27th. The other big deal of what the LA Auto Show is the press and media day. So you have a global audience coming to Los Angeles to see. It's only media and industry professionals the day before. So whether it's global debut, North American debut, it could be an auto show debut, it could be just big news. So it's a day of press conferences, kicking it off this year with Subaru and a global reveal, which
Can't
is
wait.
going to be really cool.
Cannot wait.
A lot of people are excited about that.
Yep.
And we
You can't say it, right? Even though some of us might know, but you
Yeah.
can't. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
I
Good
think
stuff.
it's out there. You can find it if you want. I have to think back if we got you're all clear.
Don't even worry
I think
about
we
it.
did.
Don't even worry about it. Go to the auto show and see it in person.
We're all working on minimal sleep these days, but we're going to pull it off. And then you've got 45 plus countries represented, because they're automotive journalists, entities are being flown here to see, as we come further and further out of the pandemic, we believe, there are going to be some consolidations of shows probably. There used to be a lot of shows, like 70 shows across the United States. If you think about local, regional, and ours, between New York, Chicago, Detroit, and LA, those are sort of the big 4.
I can only think of the 4.
Yeah. But there's one in Orange County, there's one in San Francisco, and so there are other ones. But
Okay.
we think more and more, because of sort of the way the world is playing out, where LA and the other ones that I mentioned are really going to maybe take a higher level of prominence in the future, which we're excited about.
Fine.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
We're LA, right?
It's weird. It's the land
Yeah.
of make believe. I
Yeah.
mean, it's funny how much this town is able to pull off. You know what I mean?
But we also are uniquely positioned to sort of, I would say, warrant that. We're, from where we are in California leads the nation when it comes to sort of clean, green. We have the mandate in 2035 that all new cars are going to be green.
I can't believe it.
Zero
Are going to be
emission
electric
vehicles.
Yeah.
Zero
Or
emission. So
right.
whatever you end up being there and within the guidelines.
Oh, that's an interesting loophole. You
yeah.
could have some sort of a combustion engine as long as it is zero emission.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know how you do that. but
Or
okay.
if there's like a certain, if it's sort of today, they're seeing like some of the hybrids. It's like and you get 10 miles of electric. It might go the other way, right? You might
Yeah.
get 300 electric and 10 miles of gas, and maybe
That's
that'll
true,
qualify.
just to get to the
I don't know,
place.
but I don't think anybody's going to want to have. There's something we just flipped our website, and we have a lot of new kind of fun facts on there, and I believe it's accurate that a traditional car today has 2,000 moving parts. A typical EV is 20.
Yeah, that's ludicrous to me. We
Right.
we had Leno here not too long ago, and him explaining to me like, "What? There's no wearable parts. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas you got to do tires and windshield wipers." I was like,
Yeah,
"Well, what about brakes?" He's like, "Regeneration." was
I
like,
know, it's amazing.
Yeah, he had me at every point. I was like,
Yeah.
"Gee whiz, these fucking electric cars are pretty good, aren't they?" Jeez.
The aftermarket is figuring it out though. The way they're customizing and what they're doing, like it's a whole new industry that whether you're all about gas and gas powered as a hobby and all of that, or you're all
Right.
about the future. They're still doing some amazing things with these cars after
Yeah.
the fact.
I can't believe how much power we can make out of cars these days with not much of anything. Small displacement, turbocharged, supercharged, driving giant SUVs with little turbocharged 4 cylinders. It's crazy.
And then we were talking about like wheels, like there's also a one wheel now, and you're seeing people cruising around downtown on one wheel, and
I would
just
have no
mobility
teeth
is
and
changing.
broken arms.
Yeah,
Like 2 slings.
I'm scared of it too. Like and the scooters are
Casey
proliferating.
Neistat. I blame Casey Neistat. Boosted boards, all
Yeah.
of it. Also,
Yeah.
but that's what the kids are into.
It is, and going. It's funny. Another what's his name, Dean Kamen, who invented the Segway, is another Bedford, New Hampshire person. So all the way, but when that came out, that's been like a part of my life, and so like knowing he invented that from where I was from, and now seeing like where micromobility is going and all of that, it just all keeps getting connected.
It seems like your life has been that way. You kind of. It seems like your story just goes from one beat to the next. Do
been
you
all right.
feel that way about your life looking back? Is it a straight line, or do you see the curves that the rest of us feel?
I have a little bit of curve. I think personally, I try not to get too caught up, and worry about the future. I try to stay in the moment and
Love to know that secret.
do the best I can to I'm married and I have 2 kids, and set them up and us up for hopefully a long life, and try to stay in the moment and celebrate the past in the right way, but not worry about the past too much.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
that's the present, right? You gotta.
Yeah,
The future and the past; those will kill you.
yeah,
The present's where it's at.
yeah.
I'm really excited for the LA Auto Show. I can't wait to go. We'll obviously be there for the press day, but I think, like you said, I think we'll probably make some plans to go back to some
Please
of the
do.
other events.
Yeah.
The Cars and
Okay.
Coffee thing, I
Those
know
are
we're
so
going to go
cool.
to for
Yeah.
sure. It sounds really neat, and it sounds like it's everything it used to be, but this other stuff. Would
Right.
that be fair? You haven't
think-
sacrificed anything.
No, I don't think we've sacrificed anything by any means. And like I mentioned, our owner has been talking a lot about just how happy she is that it's reminding her of a feeling of the show from years past that maybe
That's beautiful.
had changed a little bit. And
Tonally, she's talking about
yeah,
tonally
yeah,
what you're trying to
absolutely.
accomplish.
Like the feel when you leave, and I used to say this at House Blues too, like if you didn't have fun, even though this is about maybe potentially buying your next new car, which is an expense, then we didn't do our job. It should be a fun day. And like I said, it's $25 for an any day ticket. It's a pretty low ticket in the world of tickets and events and things to do.
But it's a
so
really
we try
good
to keep
point
it
you make.
affordable. Yeah.
It's a really good point you make. If your goal is to have people say, "I really enjoyed the show," you should go like a live.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
Because then
really
everyone
interesting.
is
It
up-
raises the bar for what you're achieving.
No better power than word of mouth, right? If everybody becomes a marketer, I've done my job then at the end of the day.
It's good. Oh, IndyCar too. I just saw IndyCar. Is that IndyCar?
Where are you? Where are you on the
I
map?
see Indy.
I think that's the India Autonomous Challenge exhibit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, so-
Sounds exciting.
Well, it's an autonomous vehicle, and I think it's leaving. Do you know where it's leaving, Vic? It's leaving somewhere and coming our way.
Oh, no kidding.
Autonomously to the show. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a 115th anniversary exhibit, which is going to be super cool. So my friend and yours over at the Peterson, they're loaning us a 1915 Detroit Electric. And next to it, we're putting a 2023 21C Zinger.
Oh,
And
cool.
so it shows sort of the they both leverage battery, the Zinger in a very different way.
They both leverage battery. You
Yeah,
are good.
yeah.
You are good.
But just having them next to each other to think about where we've over the last 100
This
years
was
in
an idea.
automotive innovation, and now look at this, a 3D printed car with zero waste, and they reatomize everything that falls off. It's just like I can barely grasp it all,
Whatever
but it's so cool.
Whatever the dust cast off, they recollect that and then make it more material for the car later. It's crazy. It's like
just-
zero waste.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
it's not only California, it's actually Los
And
Angeles,
Los
right?
Angeles as well. Yeah,
That's
so
a
that's going to
weird
be so
thing
cool.
to think about.
Yeah.
We saw it at the when it was at the Peterson. You saw it there.
We try to connect those 2 days. So we have the Peterson archivist and Kevin and Lucas Zinger doing a Q&A with a moderator on press day.
Very cool.
And then during the consumer days, people can come and see the exhibit and kind of experience after hopefully maybe digesting some of that content.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
At what point will when will this just turn into a full on? I want to see a concert stage at the Subaru tent, and I want to see some kind of wrestling
Yeah.
or something over at the Jeep area.
Well, if you can see what's right down the middle of the two halls, I have some. We have
The
some
Galpin Hall of Customs?
No, the street that separates them two.
Oh, Pico.
I have some grand plans in my devious ways. To what
Really?
Well,
The
if you
one that
think
goes
about,
under the building?
If you think about if you closed it off and you put a stage out there, and then the two halls are actually connected in one space, and you've got music and other micro-mobility out there and food trucks and all of that.
You have
you've
removed the
now-
division.
You've removed the division. So there are challenges there, obviously, to shut down a street in downtown LA. But, we keep trying to figure out how to best work with our partner and the space and, what they're...
You're taking over everything else. I say stamp that shit approved.
It's done. It's done.
I mean, that sounds so great. Oh, I see. And the
If
Cars and Coffee's right across
It's
the street
across the
there.
street, yeah.
This is going to be so
Well, if our
fun.
new mayor's listening, maybe they'll help us out.
This is so fun. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. They have to make that work for you.
Right.
Or that's something that happens next year for sure.
Sure.
Either way.
Yeah, and something else, right? Like
Yeah, you gotta build.
We'll keep figuring it out, and I'm sure an automaker will have some crazy new idea that they want to do, and we'll figure it out.
Are you enjoying your time with the auto shows? Is this the type of thing you would like to stay with for a while?
Yeah, I love events. I think I'm built that way from being at the true bar back level of a hospitality and in the trenches. I'm built to be in the trenches.
Didn't you only do two shifts like that?
But I did
And
other
you
stuff.
got into marketing?
Well, then I was the hit squad. I was the hit squad, which was handing out flyers in Harvard Square.
That's
So-
rough.
It's a different kind of gig in Harvard Square. But
That's
yeah,
rough.
I
That's
just think
when comedians, what do they call it?
It's the flyering the
the
street. It's the same
flyering
thing.
and I'm next
Yeah.
to the buskers with the guitar. Sometimes good, sometimes not so
crazy-
good.
For sure.
part of it.
Yeah.
That's
But
your
I do
you earned
like
your
it.
stripes.
I do like it. And then over the now it's 28 years to have some sort of some level of professional chop to align with that drive to be in the mix of it all has served me well. Yeah.
Well, it seems to go with your personality. I mean, you seem to just kind of drive wherever you go, and if that's good for your personality, then I would say everything's a good match.
Sure.
Good for you.
I'm,
Happy.
I'm an easygoing guy. I really do like I was a psychology major and I wasn't so sure what I was going to do with that, but now that I got into marketing, the connection is obvious and and I really
You're just
enjoy
playing with people.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
I enjoy the sort of skill sets and expertise within marketing. I do take pride in like doing a good job within those disciplines. And so that's really rewarding to me because we do this on a daily basis. This project alone, I couldn't be happier to see it in the rearview mirror. Like the amount of work that goes into putting into the show guide and getting it right, and the scale and the partners and collecting all those assets and putting it together is one of many beasts that we tackle to put on the show. But I'm proud of it, and that makes me happy. I'm just glad it's over.
Most lovely. 57RT says, I've been going to the LA Auto Show since 1993, and it would be nice to see the exotics return, Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. I feel like your answer was sort of given earlier.
Yeah, though, I mean, if it depends on what the intent of the question is. If you think Ferrari and Lamborghini, are going to come back as an exhibitor at the automaker level, their strategies have changed dramatically to how they reach their target audience and who their real, like their automobile buyers are.
Right.
They have a different strategy. But
Right.
we're going to have tons of exotics and supercars and hypercars, eye candy all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very well put.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it though. Like, will a tire kicker at the auto show buy the Lamborghini? Probably not. That's interesting.
And I just think it's one of those things. And maybe, I mean, we'd love to have them. But
Well, yeah, but the one
I
or two
think-
versus they already have. I mean, most of their cars are already sold.
Do you want to try to find the 5 within the hundreds of thousands? Or do you want to try to find the 5 at an event for 5,000 qualified Lamborghini buyers?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, I just think their strategies are different, and the expense is different too. You know, you're asking someone to spend a couple $100,000 on a car. It's a house where I came from.
I mean, really, it's unbelievable. I mentioned Connecticut before. Like Bob Sharp Ferrari was in Danbury, Bethel area there, and we just would look at them, just driving by, and they were in the neighborhood of $100 and something thousand back
Yeah.
then, and it
Oh,
just
sure.
seemed like all the money in the world. I mean, it was probably twice what our house was worth.
Right.
you know,
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of thing.
absolutely. I'm on the
Absolutely
third
crazy.
level of our building downtown, and I've thought about starting a third floor Thursdays or something, and just because I can just watch exotics all day out my window, going like I don't know what
Just
it
have
is
your own
about
little
like
coffee event, just looking out the window.
8th and Grand is a hot corner for exotics. Like so, I'm like I could literally have a show out this window. It's
Well, you
hilarious.
maybe should. Just
Maybe.
get a separate
Well,
iPhone and just
I see
lock
what
it out
you,
there.
You're doing, and maybe I'll.
Don't do this. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. Nobody should do this. All right. Well, you have done the time. I feel
thanks.
like
think
I'm
we
really
covered it,
excited
yeah.
about the auto show, and that's what you came here to do. So
I hope so. Yeah. And
Success.
yeah. Thank you. And it is going to be a fun show. At the end of the day, like I hope people see the brands if they're interested in buying a new car. But most of all, it's just going to be an incredible automotive experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Well, thanks.
Is there anything that we didn't mention that we should?
No, I mean, LAAutoshow.com.
Yeah, please follow follow on Instagram, LA Auto
Thank you.
Show.
Yeah. And away we go. We're a week and a couple days out.
I can't believe that
Yeah.
already. How does that feel for you? Is the
it's
production
good.
motion already happening where you
It's
can
yeah,
let
they're
go a little
moving.
bit?
Porsche moves in earlier than everybody else. They
have to put up walls,
They build something
TVs and
special.
everything.
Yeah. But the automakers are showing up, and rigging's up, and
Wow.
things are being built, and
So it is in
it's
full
on.
production mode now.
it's it's on over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, it may be too late to close the street.
Yeah, we're a little late for that this year. Next year though,
But next year,
I got an ally.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
We'll go downtown, shake some hands.
Okay,
We'll make it
thanks.
happen.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much
Yeah,
for being
thank
here,
you.
David.
I
It was a
appreciate
pleasure
it.
to meet you
You too.
and hear all about the LA Auto Show. Congrats on everything you've accomplished so far.
Thank
and
you.
R.I.P. to the House of Blues, man.
I
We were
know.
such fans of that.
Oh yeah.
There's still a few left out there, so I wish them the best.
I'm sorry, as a company, it
Yeah,
exists.
yeah.
The LA
Sunset
one.
Strip one.
Not
is
the
something
same
special.
with Owen gone.
Honestly, I heard years ago, and forgive me to wrap it up with a little House of Blues action, but I had heard
Started
years
there,
ago
we'll end there.
that once the Anaheim one opened, that I heard that one was doing very, very well, and actually was maybe taking some hit away from the LA
I
scene.
heard
I didn't know
that
if that was
too.
actually true or if that was an excuse to shut the LA one down.
No, I don't. I think that's a little off
Okay.
from the accuracy.
Because every time I went to the Anaheim one, they were always kind of
such
empty.
different markets as well. With the scene down there, with punk and all of that, and what they have.
Well, but it's also in Disneyland.
And not anymore. Like, so they moved over to Garden Walk. I opened up that one in, gosh, I can't remember the year anymore.
Oh,
but
wait, is it not at California?
no. So in the lease, I think it was. Let's see, when did we open that?
Shit, so that one's gone too.
It may have been an 18, 20-year lease or something, whatever. When the lease was up, Disney decided to do something else with the property in downtown Disney.
That's
and
right.
In
The
a crazy,
Rainforest Cafe, they shut a lot of that shit down.
crazy stroke of luck, Garden Walk across the street from Disneyland had square footage that worked well for House of Blues. So House of Blues
Wait, are you
opened
serious?
up. Yeah.
So Garden Walk is not whatever City Walk or whatever that. It used to be kind of a gardeny type of walk that it was on the
Yes.
side there, but
Yes.
it's not
now
there
they've
anymore.
totally built it out into a mixed use, retail, restaurants. House of Blues is the anchor of it, 100%. 100%. And it's a beautiful club. It's an absolutely stunning
Awesome.
club. And yeah,
I miss
now
live
they get
music.
all the shows, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
right?
Yeah.
It's tough. LA's got a lot of clubs. Palladium, Wiltern, Fonda. There's in that size of, call it 1,000 to 3,000. There is a limit of how many clubs you can
You're right.
have,
There are.
you
The
know?
Palace is still around. There's a
Yeah.
handful, or
Sure.
Avalon or whatever it's called now. You're right.
Sure, Avalon. Yep.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah,
it was a
thanks.
pleasure getting
Yeah.
to know you. For
I
real.
don't get to
can't
talk House of Blues all that often, so I liked it. And talking about the LA Auto Show, it brings it all together.
Thanks for being willing
Yeah.
to. But you've got an open invite here anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever you're talking about or just
All right.
want to come and hang out, by
right.
all means. Victor knows that as well.
Cool.
You've done your time. Feel free to
All right,
feel
thank
free
you.
to awkwardly leave anytime you want. We're going to do a quick break. We're going to come right back for some top of show at the end of show with producer Mike and Nicole. More to come right after this. Thank you so much to David Fortin from the LA International Auto Show. Mrs. Ryan, some brief words from our friends at Oh So Delicious Hot Sauce. The hot sauce.
Made by bears.
Oh, so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Garlic and serrano mixed with love and care. You can put it on your eggs, pour it on your rice. It's great on a leg, it's better on a slice. It's oh so delicious. It's a hot sauce made by bears. Oh, so delicious hot sauce. Great on everything except oatmeal.
Get your bottle today at ohsodelicious.org. $1 from every bottle sold goes to the National Military Family Association.
What are you driving today? 63 356B. Hey, 111. What are you driving today? Here we go. Oh, this is fun, David. Thumbs up for sure. This just proves that you don't have to go fast to have fun. You don't have to go fast. Can you see my smile already? Okay, I'm impressed. You don't need to stick it. He's already got it. My car's gonna feel slow as balls after this. I'll tell you that. Pedal down. Yeah, baby.
See, this is what happens. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Really appreciate it. I'll send you a clip later tonight. Awesome. All right, with that, we are back. Woo! That was awesome. What a great guy. Very interesting as well.
So great.
We are back. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Let's bring producer Mike in here, if he's even still here, if he's not asleep. Hi, buddy.
Hey, man.
There we go. I didn't have a whole lot here, but I did. Was there anything maybe we did talk about it already. Well, you know what? We got, at the very least, we got to talk about the prize wheel and the Letterman podcast. What is going on with you and this week's Letterman podcast?
Hey, well, we can talk about that in a second. I just love the whimsy that showed up with David talking about this auto show. Like, I remember going to the Vancouver auto show with my dad when I was a kid, and the idea of the cars of the future and things like that. I love the spirit of what he's talking about. To me, what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring whimsy back into this kind of a thing. And I wish I was in the LA area. I'd bring my granddaughter down there. That just sounds like it's so much fun.
Well, is it too? It's probably too soon for you to make a last-minute trip, but it does seem that you find yourself in foreign cities quite often these days, for one reason or another. And there are an awful lot of folks that you could interview on the Letterman podcast here in LA. And you certainly have a production facility where you could do that sort of thing if you ever wanted to here in LA. So I'm just saying, if you needed an excuse to come here to LA, make one.
That sounds like a blast. This week, you're asking what's going on the Letterman podcast. I just actually uploaded for Friday's release Joe Grossman Part 1.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Like, I've
He's
talked
funny.
a little bit of. Well, he is. I laughed a lot during the 2 hours that we talked. He's kind of my guy. Like we talk about how sometimes there's late night versus late show and all that. I love the late show so much, and one of the reasons why I love Joe Grossman so much, he might be my very favorite Dave cast member of all time, because I remember in 2004 when he showed up and I first became. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Go continue on.
No, it's all good.
Continue on.
I love Joe Grossman so much because in 2004, when he started popping up on Late Show, he's this deadpan writer that would show up and exasperate Dave with his little, deadpan antics. I looked at him. They play Enter Sandman to bring him out. He looked like a guy who was like me. He's this Gen X guy. And I think that I just really identified and kind of globbed onto him. Thinking, he's a guy I could have been playing Dungeons and Dragons with last night, and now he's working for the Late Show, and so talking with him was a great thrill, and was he funny. He made me laugh a lot during the interview. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I agree. He looked like a kid, just looked like us versus all the other folks on that show were adults. It's akin to when Todd, the cue card guy, showed up. He was like, "Oh, look, there's a kid playing with all the adults in he's in the Dave camp. That's so cool." Shout out to those guys who left us a bunch of complimentary tickets on the way out the door. We will make sure that these make their way to the Late Show prize wheel that we'll talk about in a few minutes.
They're
fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff there. Joe Grossman, very cool. And it's part 1 of 2, which is great.
Part 1 of 2, yeah.
I think I missed some comments here before. I'm sorry about that, but let's...
Don't be.
Here, I'm going to go all the way to the beginning, and let's just go through these real quick. Irene Hoffman, present and ready for fun. It's an hour ago. I hope you're still here. Sorry, Irene. Analog Speed, what's good, beautiful people? We did your new ad read, buddy. Manuel Carrillo did this. Manuel Carrillo corrected his own deal there. Porsche has been in the same standalone hall since '95. My second year attending the show. Wow. So it's a competition here. The 93 for 5RT. All right. Jay Franz or Franzi or Frains says, great show, thank you. Till now. I'm looking forward to seeing what Nissan has to bring. Oh, that's interesting. We will definitely attend the show this year, thanks. Very cool. All right, so that's good. Look, they got some people. It was worth coming to the Toluca Lake in the rain for. I'm sorry you don't feel well. That's a bummer for me. I mean, can't imagine how it is for you. It's a bummer to me.
Thanks. It's just, honestly, it's just to explain to everyone, it's like a backward rubber band. Like, I go to pull up a leg, and it's like, nope, I'm on the floor.
Uh-huh.
I told Mark, I was like, when you pick up a kid that doesn't want to go somewhere, and they want to lay on the floor and stretch out.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that the other day. We were at Breakfast Club a little too long, or just a little too whatever, and you were past your limit. And we were trying to get you back in the car, the Mini, which is easier to get into. And my goodness, was that not only not working, but this is a weird one. I hope nobody gets weirded out by this, but you went into everything you were doing was the opposite of what you should be doing in that moment, and you looked so scared because your face was, why isn't anything doing what I wanted to? And you fell backward because you went rigid. Like, instead of kind of, if you had just, not that you were able to, but if you were able to just go limp, you would have been 100% fine, and I could have just moved you wherever and like normal. but for whatever reason, you went rigid like a board. Like she planked. You planked. Sorry. And with that, you then became a very heavy, unable to move object where I couldn't right the situation. So you planked and then were sliding out of the car. It was a fucking disaster. And I felt so badly for you because your face said, I don't know what's happening.
That happens a lot, and no one knows what to do, and including me. Because it doesn't always happen, so I'm caught off guard every time it does. I'm expecting to, but when it doesn't go wonky right away, I'm like, okay, I can finagle this.
It was crazy. I mean, it has happened a few times, but it's like I don't know how to. There's no fix. I don't have one. You know what I mean? I can't say, oh, well, what if you just tried to, what if? Yeah, what if I tried that?
I mean, my brain, like, literally won't bend, so good luck.
Yeah, the whole thing's weird. It sucks. Adrian Chan says, hello, everyone. Hello to you, Adrian Chan. We miss you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Are you still selling caviar? He was a brand ambassador for a great caviar company there for a little bit. I think he still is. And not that we need to tell you, you probably do too, but we really miss your brother Carson. When Newcomb's was open, we were all regulars up there having breakfast on Friday mornings. Great. And then he couldn't leave because he was supposed to go back to China and he couldn't leave or Hong Kong because because of the COVID thing was starting. And I was like, oh, it was a thing there. And like, oh, well, he can't fly there yet because remember we were all figuring it out back in 2000.
It was before everything here. Right?
Yeah, it was. It was 2000, end of 19 and into like early 20. So crazy. The prize wheel. So people are excited about the prize wheel, and we're getting stuff for the prize wheel. We got tickets for the prize wheel. I was going to do it tonight. Maybe next on Thursday, we'll just start writing stuff in, and we can all see how we fill up the prize wheel. I don't know. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to deal with the prize wheel, to be honest with you. We've had some other stuff going on behind the scenes, some good stuff as well. That we're all really excited about. And there's nothing to share yet, and it would be too soon anyway. But know that there's a lot of good stuff that we've been working on for a long-ass time happening behind the scenes. So really, really, I don't know how good it is, but it's a bit of a relief for me personally. And there's no secret that this has been, like, we've been out on a limb here for 4.5 years, folks. We have not known what we've been doing for 4.5 years. And somebody like that walks in the studio and they go, wow, this is amazing, and the whole thing. And we're like, to us, it's still just the dining room. We're still just the two idiots with with the Amazon microphones. Sorry, you're not an idiot. I feel like an idiot. So, I don't know. I guess, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for bearing with us for whatever this has been all these years, because it's been a lot of things, and yet nothing. Know that we're aware of it. But we love you guys at home for watching, for sticking with us. I mean, like, this has been crazy fun, especially lately, and it's only going to start ramping up more here in the future. But I know, I wish I could say more. There isn't more to say yet. But just good stuff. Good vibes out there. Good stuff. We didn't win the Powerball that I'm aware of, unless somebody bought us a ticket as a surprise and is still planning on giving it to us. But other good things are happening. So we love everybody. We love everybody. If there's anything we can do for you, this community has been so good to us. If there's anything we can do for you at home, any viewer of this show, anyone, period, if you get wind of the fact that someone's offering help, please send me a message. Please send me a message, and let's get that going. I don't know what it could be, but somebody out there needs something, and you're going to send me a message, and I'm going to help you with it. So I love you. We love you at home. Producer Mike, is there anything else?
I jump on a plane to go to Toronto tomorrow, so I don't think I'll be on Thursday's show. But
see what I mean? I think it's Sean Bishop on Thursday, buddy. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to do what I can to try and figure something out.
We could maybe tailor our show time for you if that helps. So for tonight, follow David Fortin. I don't even know if he's on Instagram, but the LA Auto Show certainly is, and the LAAutoShow.com. So please do that stuff. Let's see. For Thursday, yeah, it is indeed Sean Bishop. We moved Greg Grumberg. It was supposed to be Greg Grumberg. Greg Grumberg is now going to come in on 11/22 with Chris Jacobs. So that's going to be a double because they're going to host their new podcast together. I was the first guest on their new podcast. Whatever. We're going to podcast it out on the 22nd, 11/22 with Greg Grumberg and Chris Jacobs. So Sean Bishop on Thursday. Next week, we're back with Zach Clapman, who is the auto industry's Joe Grossman. I shit you not. Looks just like him. Not look just like him, but enough that you would absolutely go, oh yeah, I see it. Also, Zach is wicked dry, wicked funny, and you all know him from The Smoking Tire. I think that's it. Good stuff, right? And Kat DeLorean next week as well to give us the update on what's going on with DeLorean Next Generation. And there are a lot of updates to talk about. This shit got real overnight. She had no intention of starting a car company or following in her father's footsteps, and she's doing both, and I couldn't be more proud of her. This is the most ambitious thing I've ever seen someone I know take on. And she's doing it, and she's killing it, and I'm so proud of her. So also next week, Kat DeLorean. I have talked plenty tonight. I hope everyone has had enough of it, because I'm done. We love everybody at home. Please love one another, and we will see you out there. Also, stay tuned for Tom Snyder is next. Good night, everybody.